Welcome and let your journey to soul expansion begin. I'm your host, Kristen Kaczynski. This show will take you on a journey of expansion, encouraging you to release the limitations of your mind and lean into the wisdom of your soul. Remembering who you are on a soul level will help you release your conditioning, expectations, limiting beliefs, fears, and worries, and evoke a life expanded by your energetic alignment. Whether you're an entrepreneur who wants to grow your income and impact, or someone who knows in your heart of hearts that you're made for more, this podcast will help you awaken the power that's already inside of you, allowing you to attract an easy flow of money, clients, opportunities, and fulfillment. In each episode, you'll learn something new, expand your consciousness, and you'll walk away with a glimpse of what's truly possible for you. If you're ready to follow your soul's calling and live a more expansive life, you're in the right place. Welcome, and let your journey to soul expansion begin.
All right, y'all. We have been talking a bit about, it's 2022, right? So we've been talking a bit about manifestation rules worth breaking. If you haven't listened to that episode, go back and listen to that. And kind of just like new ways of approaching business. It's a new year, so we might as well get creative and actually build a business that aligns with what we want to feel and our values and our mission and our vision and all of these things that are actually meaningful to us, because like the money milestones are going to come and go. And at the end of the day, they don't actually help us create the life that we want if we're suffering, struggling, and hustling to get them. We create the life we want if we focus on creating the life we want. And if we get creative and find ways to create a business that feels the way we want it to feel and allows us to have the freedom we want to have. And sometimes it takes healing. Sometimes it takes faith. Sometimes it takes manifestation. Sometimes it takes, some of these other things to allow us to have such an audaciously amazing life and to be so bold as to declare that we're going to work less and make more, and we're going to do it now, not when we have however many followers or have already proven ourselves to be successful and good at what we do, but just choosing to have it now. So today, what we're doing, kind of in line with some of these topics of shifting your perspective about how to manifest and how to approach business and how to approach the energetics, is we're talking about surrender. I don't know why I'm singing. I'm in a really good mood as I'm recording this. And yeah, so I just am feeling playful and fun, and the inner child is here, and the inner child loves to sing. So surrender. What are we talking about with surrender? So first I want to talk about what we think surrender is, and this is definitely what I used to think surrender was, versus what surrender actually is. So we think surrender is something that we do, right? We think surrender is like, oh, the universe wants me to surrender. Okay, I'm going to surrender now. And then we do something in order to surrender. But surrender is actually a state of being. Surrender is actually happening before we do anything, right? So it's actually happening, from my perspective, it happens at the intention state, right? So if we have an agenda to surrender, if that's like a to-do list item, if that's something we feel like we have to do, if we're doing it because we want to get something out of it, then that's not actual surrender. That's an agenda. That's an egoic reason, an ego mind reason for doing something. So it happens at the intention state, right? It happens at the awareness state, not in the actual activity. So let me give you a perspective. You can go get a massage because you want to check the box and say, hey, look, I surrendered. I treated myself. I got the massage. Look at me. Hi, universe. Look, I'm surrendering. Hey, did you see me surrender over here when I got that massage? Yeah, give me the clients, right? And I used to operate that way. I used to think, ooh, I can trick the system. I can, go do this thing and then I'm going to get this other thing. But as one of my mentors, Erin Nicole, has said to me more than once, you can't trick the system, right? Like the system is so intelligent that it will know if you're doing something from the wrong intention, for the wrong reasons, right? Because let's break this down. So if we're doing the massage, if we're like, ooh, I'm going to go surrender, I'm going to go get a massage in order to surrender, because if I surrender, then I'll get my manifestation. If that's the intention behind the massage, then it's actually coming from a place of unworthiness. Ooh, bet you didn't know that. If you're resonating with this. Yeah, I've been thinking about some of these like mind fucks that we get ourselves into when it comes to manifestation. And it's true. If you are surrendering because you think you have to surrender in order to get the thing, well, then that's coming from a place of unworthiness. And if you feel unworthy of it, you're not going to get it anyway. So that's why sometimes as perfectionists or overachievers or really logical thinkers, if we're like really in our headspace and we're not yet comfortable in the unknown of the body, we're not yet comfortable in the realm of energy or in the realm of the soma like somatic, like body. If we're still up in the head and we're still trying to like game the system and achieve our way to the manifestation, sometimes we can get trapped in this state of first complete hustle burnout. That was phase 1 of Kristen. That was Kristen 1.0. And then we can get into the state of, oh, okay, so the answer is let me surrender. And so then we get into the state of like surrendering to surrender, because we think, oh, if I surrender, then I'll get this thing. And that was Kristen like 1.5, not yet 2.0. And then Kristen 2.0 knows so deeply that surrender is like a way of life. It's not an activity you do. It's not something you put on your calendar. I mean, in the beginning, you might have to train your body to be okay in the surrender, to feel safe in it. But it's actually just like not micromanaging every facet of your life, right? It's like letting go of control. And I have a beautiful example of this. So at the time that I'm recording this, I'm selling my mastermind, Expansion Mastermind. Feel free to DM me and ask about it if you're curious about it. It is an evergreen mastermind. As long as there's a spot available, you can, sign up whenever. So even if it's like March of 2022 and you're listening to this, just send me a DM and find out if we have a spot available. But at the time I'm recording this, I'm like actively selling. It's my product of choice to sell right now. And I've just been really, really challenging myself to not let any external evidence take my eye off of my desire. Because at the end of the day, the expanded version of me, and it's called Expansion Mastermind, right? Isn't that funny? But I mean, this is totally on purpose. This is intentional, right? So the expanded version of me, the version who, is totally qualified to run Expansion Mastermind, is the kind of person that doesn't get swayed by logical evidence. She's the kind of person that just trusts that she always gets what she wants, period. End of story. Like there's no reason why she doesn't get what she wants. She always gets what she wants, assuming it's coming from like a heart-centered place of desire and not like from this place of like needing validation or needing to prove something to someone else, right? Like it is my purest, deepest desire to serve 6 women in this mastermind. And, every day there's lots of temptation from my ego mind to look at things and be like, ooh, you should do more. Or, ooh, you need to figure out what's wrong with your messaging, or, oh, you're doing something wrong, right? Like my ego loves to show me, look, you're not doing it right. You need to switch something. You need to fix it. You need to try something else. You need to do more. You need to hustle more. Or you might even need to do surrender, right? Like sometimes the ego is like, ooh, maybe I need to surrender. Let me go do surrender. But actual surrender is a lot different. Actual surrender is trusting in something bigger than you. And trusting, I think I said this on the previous episode, trusting that you've already done enough. There's so much pressure to do more. There's so much pressure to even surrender more. But actual surrender is a letting go, right? It's like not doing anything. It's not controlling. It's not trying to fix. It's not trying to figure out which energetic shift you need to make, but just like trusting that it's happening anyway. Like yesterday, for example, I was exhausted. I didn't sleep at all. And there was a bunch of childhood parts in me that were saying, oh, but you need to post. Oh, but you've only gotten 2 clients so far. You wanted 1 more this month. Oh, but you need to do this, you need to do that. And I said, no, fuck it. Those clients are going to come to me anyway. Like there's nothing I have to do to show that I'm worthy of them. So I'm going to take my nap. I'm going to do the bare minimum, which was hand something off to my team and show up for 1 coaching call. And that's all I'm forcing myself to do today. And I'm not even forcing myself to do it. It's something that feels aligned for me, right? And so when we think about true surrender, it's like actually allowing yourself to have the thing that you desire, even when it doesn't make sense to your logical mind. So both of the clients I signed for this mastermind at the time that I'm recording this, they were kind of surprising for me. The first was someone that I worked with over a year ago, was not even on my radar. Like I don't think I was even like paying attention to her content. And like when you don't pay attention to someone's content on Instagram, they just like don't show up in your feed anymore. So it was like one of those situations. She like wasn't even showing up in my feed anymore. Didn't even see her stories ever. And then she just DM'd me randomly and was like, I think I want to sign up for your mastermind. I think I'm all the way in. I just need to know one thing. And I like answered her one question. And then she was like, okay, I'm going to sleep on it. And I was like, okay, cool. Talk to you later. And then the next morning, she was in a different time zone. The next morning I woke up and I was super chill and I checked it and she was like, let's do it. I want to do this payment plan. Send me the link. I'm ready. Let's go. Let's schedule my first call. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, let's do it. Right. So we're always evolving. We're always pivoting in business, right? And as I was reviewing toward the end of 2021, the direction that my business was going in, I started to realize that one of my signature programs, my signature group program, Divine Feminine Sales, which I'm sure you've heard of before if you've been a longtime listener of the podcast, wasn't living up to the new standard of my coaching. And so it needed a rebrand, it needed a revamp, because it's no longer just about shifting into your divine feminine energy in order to attract soulmate clients. It's so much bigger than that. I've really honed in on the 4 things that have led to my fun, flowy, prosperous business, as you heard me talk about on a previous episode. And those 4 keys, those 4 cornerstones of my coaching are awakening, healing, aligned action, and intentional manifestation. These 4 things have endlessly served me in growing my business without, being in this hustle or struggling or suffering state, but being able to attract more and more income, more and more impact, while also experiencing more and more joy, more and more fulfillment, more and more, excitement and celebration, and being able to really treat myself like royalty all throughout the process of growing my business. And that's kind of like a radical thing to say, right? Like you get to treat yourself like royalty now. You don't have to wait until you make 6 figures or 7 figures or whatever it is. Like I always say to myself now, one of my new mottos is I serve my clients best from an overflowing cup. So I have to make sure that I'm filling myself up so much that I'm like bursting with this overflowing ability to hold space and to serve and to educate and to be there for my clients. I can't do it. I refuse to do it from a state of not enough. I am just no longer available for that. And so with Divine Feminine Sales, what we're changing is we're with these 4 cornerstones of awakening, healing, aligned action, and intentional manifestation. We're actually taking that under the brand name Soul Expansion. So you guys know about Soul Expansion membership. Obviously, you know about the Soul Expansion podcast. Well, Divine Feminine Sales, as part of our rebrand, is going to be called Soul Expansion Coaching. So we're, of course, still putting the pieces in place in the back end. But for now, if you're interested in getting more support from me, you can still head to divinefemininesales.com, and you'll notice that we're starting to shift the branding there, and then eventually we'll have a new URL for you. But what Soul Expansion Coaching is it actually includes everything inside Soul Expansion membership, which is why we're bringing it all under one brand name. But it has even more support for me, even more access, and a brand new 2.0 core curriculum all about the 4 cornerstones that have led me here. So the awakening, the healing, the aligned action, and the intentional manifestation. So we're expanding way, way, way beyond just shifting into your divine feminine energy and the strategic components that go along with it. And we're making it this program that will serve you anywhere from 0 to, consistent 10K months is kind of like the energy behind this program. But it could also serve you if you're making more than 10K, but you feel like you're in this state of having to work for it, having to hustle and struggle and force your way to get to your income goal. This program is really designed to allow you to bring in more ease, flow, and alignment into your business no matter where you're at in terms of income. So you can find out more at divinefeminisales.com. We'll have a new URL for you, in a couple months when we finish the rebrand. But get signed up now because we're already dripping out the content. People are already loving the changes and we would love to see you inside. Again, it's divinefeminisales.com and let's get back to the show. Why did that happen? Well, right before this client messaged me, I had made the decision, I feel like going out to dinner with my husband. Like, I feel like that's what I want to do. And before, maybe the vibe would have been, oh, well, I don't know if I'm worthy going out to this dinner. I haven't signed a mastermind client yet. And I really wanted to sign a mastermind client. And so I would have like gotten to this spiral of like not being worthy of it. Or I would have been like, ooh, if I go to this dinner, then I'll be surrendering, I'll be receiving, it'll be good, and then I'll get the client. But that wasn't the vibe at all. The vibe was, I fucking trust the universe to deliver me the clients. And I feel like going out to dinner, so I'm going to go out to dinner, right? It was like actually giving in to my human desires and being so trusting that I'm supported, being so trusting that I'm enough, that I just don't have to worry about, if this client's going to sign up or not, or if someone else is going to reach out or not. I can just trust that there's something so much bigger than me running the show, delivering the manifestation. I'm just a co-creator. I'm not the sole creator. And like so much magic happens when we can trust that we've done enough and that there is something bigger at work for us. So that was the first mastermind client I signed from a place of surrender. The second one was a client I was actually working with who actually inquired about a much lower cost program. So we have the Soul Expansion membership. It's $111 per month. And it's a beautiful continuation offer for clients if they want to like be in my energy still, but they want to take a break from high ticket investments. So, that's part of the reason why we have it, to be completely honest. And I was also getting this hit of like, I kind of feel like she probably wants more support. Like it was just like this intuitive nudge of like, let me at least offer it, right? Like, let me just recommend some other options. Of course, leave it totally chill, totally up to her, and we'll see what happens, right? Like I was so detached. I was like, she might take it, she might not. I don't really care, but I'm going to offer it, right? And so I said, okay, well, yeah, here's the information for Soul Expansion membership. It's $111 per month. And also, just in case you do want more support, Expansion Mastermind, you can also join that. And here's the details on that. Here's the payment plan you could do, et cetera, right? And I was just like, chill, whatever. She'll pick what she wants to pick. I didn't really care, to be honest. I mean, of course, I wanted her to choose the higher ticket offer because we like money and I love serving her in a high ticket way and a high support way. And I love the deeper work. Let me be honest. I like it when you sign up for a high ticket program because we actually get to transform on such a deep level together. And like you are not the same person when we work together in such a high touch capacity. Like I have no, I have no qualms about saying that. Like you actually become a completely different version of yourself in such a good way, in such an expanded way when we work together in a high ticket container. That's why they are so high ticket, because we go deep, we spend a lot of time together, and you do truly transform into another human being, like this expanded, wealthy woman version of yourself that is just not possible at $111 per month. Let's be real. Although, Soul Expansion membership still truly transformational. It's not that it's lower quality work. It's the same caliber of work that I would bring to a high ticket client, but it's self-paced, right? It's not custom to you. It's like open for the needs of the group, which means, it may not be exactly what you need in that given moment, but it might. And you don't necessarily have my eyes on your exact problems day in and day out like you would if you had Voxer access to me, right? So anyway, that was kind of a tangent. But what I was getting at was, of course, I wanted her to join the high ticket program because I just knew it would serve her so much more deeply, but I didn't let myself get attached to that. I didn't let myself care about that. I just gave it as an option and then I let it go. And a couple days went by. I went to a wedding and I set like an arbitrary deadline for December enrollment. And it was like in December, right? So like there had to be some sort of deadline. It wasn't like I was creating the deadline for false scarcity. It was like, okay, I'm just like declaring it to anyone who may be interested. If you want to join for December, this is the last date that it makes sense for you to sign up for December. So anyway, I set that arbitrary deadline, but it also made sense. And then I just went to this wedding and had fun. And I think I saw that she had messaged me, but I didn't check it until the next morning because I didn't really care. Like, not from the standpoint that I don't care about my clients, but I kind of knew it was about the continuation offer. And I was like, I don't need to fixate on this right now. I'll check it tomorrow. Right. So I checked it the next day and she wanted to do the mastermind. She wanted to do the higher ticket version. And what I just wanted to share as I shared these stories of like how these two mastermind clients sign up is in both cases, I was so detached and I wasn't like trying to like make something happen, right? I was totally surrendered to it. I let them sell themselves. I let them choose what was right for them. And I went and I lived my life and I had fun and I trusted that I had done enough, that I was enough. And then it worked out, right? And it's like, it's so hard to get to this point. Like I've been working toward this for many, many months. And it took a lot of practice. It took a lot of recalibration. It took a lot of healing. But now it's like, oh, that's what surrender really is. It's not, checking the box with a manicure. It's actually letting yourself feel so wildly worthy of your desires, even when you're just like living your life, even when you're just like taking a poo. I don't know why I always use that example, but I think it's just like so like graphic and like it just like gets you thinking like, what if you were worthy of a client asking for a payment link when you're on the toilet taking a poo? Isn't that amazing? It's like, wow, like you can be that wildly worthy that you're literally just doing your business and someone wants to pay you. How amazing is that, right? And full disclosure, that hasn't happened to me yet. Maybe I need to work on my poo worthiness. But it's just a beautiful contrast, right? Because so often we think that we need to do more or even surrender more. So often we think, oh, let me surrender more and then I'll get the thing. But the actual surrender is the letting go of anything and realizing you can have it now and realizing you've already done enough and realizing you already are enough. You're already worthy of it. And so I hope this helped you think a little bit differently about surrender. And as we wrap up this episode, I just wanted to encourage you, if you've been loving this podcast, but things are not sinking in at the depth that you want them to sink in at, always remember that the work goes beyond the teaching, right? So like I do a lot of teaching on this podcast. Sometimes I'll take you through something experiential, like a meditation or an energetic exercise. But we actually do so much more deeper work in my paid programs. And the reason for that is because I just can't do it on a podcast. Like it's actually not possible for me to do it on a podcast. So even if you're getting tons of value out of this, if it doesn't feel like it's sticking, part of the reason is sometimes we do have to take it deeper, right? Sometimes learning about something isn't enough for it to land in our body, right? It's when we're able to embody something as truth with a capital T, as unwavering truth, like this energy of like, I don't have to do anymore and I know that I'm supported. Like if that doesn't feel true for you, then it's not embodied yet. So sometimes deeper work is required to get to that level of embodiment. And I would encourage you, please check up with us. Ask me on Instagram about my programs. We do have programs ranging from $111 per month all the way up to, a 4-figure per month investment. And that is because I have a firm belief that this work is powerful and I want to be able to provide it to everyone at every possible price point, and I get to have my needs met, and I get to have an abundant salary for myself, and I get to not burn myself out, right? Like I have really structured my business intentionally so that I can, number one, serve people at all different price points, and number two, live the lifestyle I want to live, and number three, make the kind of income I want to make. And as a spoiler alert, I'm going to tell you more about how you can do that in your business in my next episode. So we're actually going to be talking about, what did I title this one? How to create a business that feels easy. Lazy entrepreneur hacks. So get excited for that next week. But until then, if you are wanting to go deeper with me, please, please, please reach out. We have something for you at all different price points. And all of my programs are evergreen. That's also intentional, right? So you can join Team Kristen at any time and you can get that deeper support that you are so worthy of by either going to KristenKaczynski.com/currently. So that's CURRENTLY. That's where we put up like our current offers, our current specials, any like flash sale things we might be doing, as well as freebies. So if you're like, ooh, I want to get something else for free, you can go there too. Or you can send me a DM, and that's the easiest way to find out what we're doing, what's on offer, what we have available for you. But we do have the deeper support always available for you. All of my programs are evergreen. You don't have to wait for a specific date. When you are ready, we are ready. So, and all of that's intentional because I want to be there for you. Okay, so anyway, that's all for this episode. Shorter one. I hope you like them. I love them when they're short and sweet. And I will see you next week when we talk about lazy entrepreneur hacks. Get excited. Bye for now.
Thank you for honoring your soul's calling today and taking the time to listen to this episode of the Soul Expansion Podcast. If you have a question you'd like featured or have a topic idea, I would love to hear from you. Find me on Instagram at Kristen Kaczynski and send me a DM with your request. Remember, you are a truly limitless being. The limits you see now are only an illusion. Whatever it is that you desire, that's already yours. It already exists in the universe here and now. You simply have to awaken to what you already have. And I hope this episode brought you a little closer to that truth. If you love this episode and would like to give from your heart and appreciation, please take a few moments to screenshot it and tag me in your stories on Instagram, or write a brief review on your favorite podcast platform. Your voice truly matters, and your feedback helps to spread abundant expansion to a broader audience. And what a gift that is, right? Just think about how much abundance will come back to you if you help a friend experience their own soul expansion. And with that, I just want to say thank you for being you. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for listening. And until next time, I'm Kristen Kaczynski, and I love you.